Actually, no, sorry. The monkey. I'm not gonna open with the monkeys again this time around. The monkey. I saw it last night. You have my out of the theater reaction, short review. My more in-depth thought on this movie is this. Oh, we're getting a little bit of lag today. Yeah, the lag just kind of comes and goes depending on the video. But my more in-depth thought on it is this. This movie, I enjoyed this movie. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. It's not a perfect movie. It does have a couple problems I'll address. Maybe not problems, but things I noticed. But I found it an entertaining time. It's not a horror movie. It's a horror movie premise, but wrapped as kind of a goofball comedy. An R-rated, gory, lots of death goofball comedy, but a goofball comedy nonetheless. The story is of Belle and Hal, two twins whose father, played by Adam Scott in the opening scene, which I'm like, oh, I didn't know Adam Scott was in this. Awesome. I always love Adam Scott. Hearing him say, die, you mother of a whore, I'm like, that's fun. But he apparently was a pilot, collected things, brought them back, and he finds the monkey, and this monkey is, well, we don't really know really what the monkey actually is. We don't know if it's just a cursed item, if it's really the devil, if it's death, and whatever it is, it's supernatural. And if you twist the key and let the monkey play, and when the monkey's finished playing, someone around you in some capacity will die. Usually in a very horrible manner. So it's my hair's just being very weird at the moment. Like it's like coiffed to the side a little bit. Like, yeah, see, it's kind of coiffed there a little bit. That's, I don't know. Maybe it's just the angle on that. But yeah, that's the nature of it. And one thing leads to another. People die. Then they basically get rid of the monkey for 25 years. They're estranged from each other, and then the monkey shows back up, so they got to go back to the hometown, deal with things. Shenanigans ensue. Now, what this movie does really well is just capture the awkward humor of life. I think that's the best way to put this movie's type of humor. It's the awkward humor of life type of humor, where their mom is often like just saying things that a mom probably shouldn't say, but it's Tatiana Maslany, which this and Black Mirror are proof that She-Hulk was not Tatiana Maslany's fault. It was, if anything, I would argue she was actually very well cast for that role. The writing on that show just did not help her. So, yeah, it's amazing how people just get upset at the actor and actress and the performer without realizing they are beholden to the script. They can do what they can with the character, but they gotta still go without the director and the script, what the script says. Yeah, it's just this angle's very weird in my hair right now. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of obsessed with this. Like, why is it that it just seems like I'm missing chunks of my hair here? I don't know. Just maybe, again, I think it's maybe the light hitting me and the way it's hitting me. And you know what? I think that's exactly what it is, because I've got shadow here. So that's what's going on. Sorry, just ADHD moment. Anyway, so yeah, she's awkward with like some of the pep talks she gives her. So like when someone dies, a babysitter dies at one point in the movie, she's consoling them and saying, "And you're gonna die, and I'm gonna die, and everyone you know is gonna die, and their pets are gonna die, and sometimes it's peaceful, others it's in horrible ways. So let's go dancing." I'm like, okay, all right, I see you, movie. It's one of those things where the dialogue and the conversations get to an awkward point where you kind of have to laugh. That's your strategy here. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes there's like literally just a not a jump. Is it what I call it, a jump cut? Well, there's a cut. Smash cut. That's it. A smash cut. To like dialogue or scene immediately after her death or before the death. And it does get quite a laugh. Theo James is the lead, and I'm like, what have I seen Theo James in? Because I'm like, I recognize this guy's face. You know what it is that I haven't seen him personally in movies. I've seen like trailers for movies he's in, like he's in the Divergent Allegiance series. He looks like a blend of Chris Evans, and Jamie Dornan, the guy who played not Dorian, but Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey. He looks like a blend of them. Like, this is a good looking dude. Like, he's also pretty built. Like, and he's pretty solid in the film. And he's got a voice, man. Oh my God, has he got a voice? I'm like, wait, I've heard that voice. He's the voice of Bastion in X-Men '97 and Hector in Castlevania. I'm like, that's where I've heard him from. That's why I recognize this guy. I do like the fact he's playing twins, and like they're two very drastically different people. Let's put it that, like, one, like his main character, I believe it's Hal, definitely tried his best, like, make sure no one else got hurt. Obviously failed. His brother is an ass. Like, let's just put it that way. Like, we see very early on, this is the sibling rivalry has existed forever, and I can speak to it as this. There was maybe name calling when I was a kid, but there was never any real cruelty behind it. There was never really any even any ego behind it. That's just sibling rivalry. So I can speak as an older brother to this, because I have a younger sister, where, now granted, I don't have a younger brother, so maybe it's definitely a different dynamic, but still I can speak as an older sibling to this, where I can say, this brother's an asshole. Like, this kid needed his ass. Like, they're literally twins by like 3 minutes apart. So it's like there's not really anything different about them in terms of like maybe physicality, unless one doesn't work out or whatever. So I'm like, just punch your brother in the face, kick him in the nuts, do something. I get it. I do get the idea that some kids just, as we're developing, don't have much of a backbone. And, some of our are worried about the consequences. They have self-doubts. So I get that completely. I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it from the hindsight of years after being a teenager, where I can go, like, why would anyone put up with this? But at the same time, I can't speak to like a two brothers teenage relationship, and like I was awkward as a kid, so to a degree, I kind of came in and started coming to my own right around their age, right around 14, 15. I started to really kind of develop my sense of self there. So there's that at least. But yeah, I'm just this guy, and we see him later on in life as an adult, and we're like, yeah, no, you're still an asshole. You're still an asshole, and to a bigger degree than you once were. And I'll leave it at that, because there are some twists in the movie. There are some what I call surprises. I wouldn't say I was surprised by an outcome. But I will say, I'm like, oh, well, that's a twist. Okay. Did I see it coming? I can't 100% say I did, but I'm not really surprised by it. Now, that being said, there was another thing that happened that later on happens with the two brothers that happens. And I'm like, I am once again not surprised by this. Like, that's the thing. If you're watching it and you're kind of following along, you can kind of, like, they certainly set up things to happen, and you can kind of see the pieces fitting into the slots. I wouldn't say it's completely predictable, but it's not really all that surprising. And that leads me to like I said, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit, but kind of an issue with the movie is that the script isn't really the best. Like, and it's not, say, Captain America Brave New World bad. That's a bad script. Just is. But with that said, there's definitely moments of good dialogue, and Theo James is able to really bring forth the dialogue as the best he can. The problem is his character is very kind of standoffish and awkward, so it's hard to really get a lot of emoting with that. But in terms of like not the predictability, but in terms of like what our moral lessons are in the film, it's not like it's anything super creative is not the right word. Super sublime, is that the word I'm looking for? It's no big revelation. It's like when the let's call it revelation. When the reconciliation, when the lesson is there, when it's finally there, it's like, okay, I don't. Let me put this in. Based on everything the character in this scene, in this movie, has done. The character, whatever the character is, has done. I'm like, I'm sorry, no. Like, no. This character does not get to get off this clean. And luckily they don't. But no, okay, whatever. Still, by the way, you should, I'm not going to say that because that's a bit of a spoiler. I'll also say this. While it's trying to be billed as a horror movie, it's not really. There are like one or two moments in the film that certainly have a little bit of creep to them. The monkey, for example. Surprisingly, when the monkey's mouth isn't open, it's actually kind of cute looking. You can see it as but the minute that mouth opens like that, it just goes like that. Like, okay, it's got a little creep factor to it. I'll give it that. But beyond that, there's like maybe one scene where one of the characters is staring off into like the darkness of like a yard, and there's kind of a creepy moment. And then you see this scene in the trailer where a woman, it turns out it was Tatiana Maslany, is screaming and there's blood coming out of her mouth. That's admittedly a creepy shot, or a unsettling shot, and otherwise not really creepy or unsettling film. Not even really a creepy film. It is a comedy at its heart. It's just wrapped up in a horror movie plot is what it is. That being said, going back to what I said about the script, there are just things that don't add up in this movie too. For example, there's this first off, you could tell immediately. There's this like loser kid working for someone, and he wants the money because it reminds me of my dad. And he kidnaps him at one point, and something happens, blah, blah, blah. But he comes up dressed as a cop, and if this guy is as paranoid as he is kind of about the world, there is no way he would have bought this guy was a cop. You could tell immediately this guy is not a cop. So what the? So that's a issue. I'm like, how can you tell? There's another scene where a woman thinks she smells gas and she leans in. You see this briefly in the trailer, so it's not a big spoiler. Her face catches on fire. But she literally leans in to smell the stove. I'm like, who fucking does that? Who leans on a stove? Going have it right there? Is like, no one does that who has any sense of self-preservation. And then there's a scene very early on, I wouldn't say very early, but early enough in the movie, where I was just confused on what's going on. Because you get Hal, our main character, and I want to say it's like they're like 14, 15. And he goes into what looks like a locker room. And all these girls are waiting there to bully him. And they said, oh, your mom wears the pants relationship. Oh, no, there can't be two pants in the house. Well, first off, F you. Because that makes no goddamn sense. But this kid is how is too wimpy to be realistic? Like, just walk out of the room. Like, there's a level of unrealism to how wimpy this kid actually is. But more to the point, did he accidentally walk into the girls' locker room / bathroom? It doesn't. He looked like he knew he was walking in where he was walking. So, are they waiting in the boys' locker room? And then these girls bully him even more. Like, first off, what the hell is going on in this school that they're allowing this to happen? Second off, did he walk away? Like, they took his pants. Did he walk around school the entire day in his underwear? Like, and the school didn't even bat an eye. School's in the, was this the 70s or the 80s? I want to say it's the 80s. School's in the 80s, folks. What are you going to do? But more to the point, like, what are they doing in that locker? Like, this doesn't add up. Nothing about this scene is making sense. I get that he's bullied, he's kind of a loser or whatever. But there's a level of realization, or a realization, or level of realism that I can't let slide. Like, there's a level of relatability, or and a level of reality that kind of needs to exist within a character in a film to make sense. I'm not saying bullying doesn't happen. I'm not saying that people like this are like this wimpy, this passive don't exist. But in the scenario they painted, nothing added up. And then they doubled down on it later. Like, wait, what? why? What is going on? Like, I know why they did it in the next scene, because the brother kind of let some things slip out. Not slip, he just told people. But it's, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Elijah Wood, by the way, haven't seen Elijah Wood in a while, so that was fun. He's like in one scene. He's like the new husband of his ex-wife. But he's also kind of playing a douchebag, which is kind of funny. Seeing Elijah Wood play a douchebag is kind of hilarious. But yeah, it's either way, the movie was actually pretty entertaining. I had a good time with it. Just go into it thinking knowing it's a comedy, not that it's horror. It's definitely got the R rating. It's earned it, absolutely. But treat it like a very, very campy horror comedy. There again, there's some minor moments of tension here or there. There's like one or two creepy shots or unsettling shots, but it's like not enough to really make it a horror movie, like a true horror movie anyway. This feels more like a pastiche on horror, if anything else. All right. So we got trailers. Not much to really talk about with the trailers. When I say not much to talk about, there were only 3 trailers that came up that I had not seen before. I think I had heard of the movies, but had not seen them before. Now, let me see here if I can find. Okay, we got Mickey 17 again. I am looking forward to that. 2 weeks ago, so I'm looking forward to that. We got, let's see, Novocaine again. They really are going Mickey 17, Novocaine. They're really kind of pushing Novocaine as hard as they can. They're just not giving us any new trailers for it, which unfortunately gives me the vibe that it's going to be another scenario where it's going to be kind of like, Love Hurts. But who knows? Maybe it won't be. We got, what was it? Was it The Friend? Is that what I saw? What was it? Is that the trailer? No, that's the one with Paul Rudd, right? No, that's something completely different. I think the one's called. Okay, so we got that. Okay, come on, site. Go back to where you're going. Okay. I hate when this happens. Okay. Don't believe we got the drop. You know what? I'll tell you right now. Novocaine and the drop. I'm gonna be very happy when we're no longer getting those trailers, because I do want to see them, but it's not really something I want to keep seeing the trailer for when it's the same damn trailer over and over again. We got The Amateur again. I am looking forward to that. Let's see here. The Ritual Sneaks. Nothing there. They Count Until Dawn. Nope. Thunderbolt. The Surfer. No. Big Bold Beautiful Journey. Nope. Hurry Up Tomorrow. Okay. I want to be sure about this right now. Is that The Weeknd who's in that movie? Jenna Ortega. Trey Edward. It is The Weeknd who's in that movie. First off, I don't quite know what that movie's about. It looks like, first off, The Weeknd's essentially just playing a film version of himself again, just by a different character name. And Jenna Ortega kidnaps him or something like that. I don't know. And there he goes. Can we stop trying to push The Weeknd on us? The person, not the 2 days that's coming up that I'm looking forward to. But no, can we stop trying to push The Weeknd on us? His music's fine. I have no real issue with him as a musician, if you want to call him that. But there was that one Idol show that were it's like trying to again make him like the sex god or whatever and have a relationship with this. Like I don't care. I don't like this guy that much anyway. Doesn't really have that much of a personality. No offense, Weeknd, if you ever watch this. Like maybe in real life, maybe as a person, you got plenty of personality. I don't buy your sex god demon bullshit. I really don't. It comes off like you're overcompensating something hard, dude. But yeah, I don't care. And I like Jenna Ortega. She's gotten some crap, same like Rachel Zegler. or being kind of like more the Gen Z era, being a little feeling like they're a bit more entitled, whatever. They both gotten some crap. As performers, I have no issue with them. I've never met them personally. So there's and I like Barry Keoghan. I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably not gonna care anything about seeing this movie. When does the movie come out again? Hurry up tomorrow. Comes out, assuming that the release date is May 16th. Okay, so basically you're saying I have the choice between that and Final Destination Bloodlines. Oh God. That's a Sophie's choice, isn't it? I'll say this. Maybe I'll just go see Final Destination for some creative kills, because at least the kill in the trailer is pretty fun. I don't know. And then the last one, it's Alison Brie and Dave Franco together. It's this weird horror movie that apparently is kind of like an awkward comedy too, but it's apparently far more of a horror movie than, say, The Monkey is. Together, movie, hold on. Movie 2025. Let's see, when is it? Together, movie 2025. Okay, what can be? So it is a body horror. Oh, goody. Okay, do they have the plot yet? No, they don't. When is this supposed to be released? It was already what? Oh wow, it got a Sundance. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it. It doesn't come out all the way until August. It had a Sundance release the 26th of last month, but August. In essence, this couple like buys a new home and supernatural shit starts happening. Based on the trailer, we're probably going to end up going Cronenberg on this. Because we see them kind of like doing like terrible things or by. At one point, you see him kind of like pressing his head and cracking it against the tile on his shower. But then there's just this brief shot of their eyes and their eyelashes merged together. And I go, oh no, are we going to be going into some very uncomfortable places? Like, are they going to be having sex and then starting to merge? Like that? That's I mean, color me intrigued at least. I'm not a big I don't mind horror films, but I'm not a huge horror guy. I don't go out of my way to see it. There's like something else coming out that week and I'm not seeing two movies. I'll see the other thing over the horror movie usually, unless there's a creative premise. This at least appears to be a creative premise, so I'll give it that. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have you seen The Monkey? What did you think? Let me know in the comments below, but thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.